Guys, 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 you need to sit down for this because I am literally shaking right now. Welcome back to the channel. And trust me when I say that what I'm about to share with you today is one of the most iconic moments in K-pop history. This isn't regular hype. This is legendary. Before we dive into this absolutely mind-blowing news, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell because content like this doesn't come every day. And if you're ARMY, a Jimin bias, or just a dance lover in general, you need to watch until the end because this will give you chills. Okay, deep breath everyone, because here it is, a legendary dancer, someone who has worked with and known legends of the dance world, just publicly acknowledged that Park Jimin from BTS has the aura of Michael Jackson. Yes, you heard that right. Michael Jackson, the king of pop himself. I can't, this is too huge. And guys, this isn't a random comparison from overhyped fans or media looking for sensational headlines. This is coming from a professional who has spent decades in the dance industry, who knows exactly what they're talking about, who has seen thousands of dancers, and who understands what makes someone truly exceptional and rare. Let me break down who made this incredible statement and why their words carry so much weight. We're talking about someone who isn't just any dancer. This is a figure who has worked with the biggest names in the global music and entertainment industry. They've choreographed for superstars, performed on the biggest stages in the world, and trained countless performers who went on to become successful. When someone with credentials like that compares a modern artist to Michael Jackson, that's not a statement they make lightly. Michael Jackson is literally considered one of the greatest performers in music history. He revolutionized performance art, set standards that had never existed before, and had an absolutely unmatched presence. To compare anyone to MJ is a huge statement. But what makes this moment even more special, this legendary dancer didn't just say Jimin is good or talented. They specifically mentioned aura. And guys, aura is something that can't be taught, can't be faked, can't be created through training alone. Aura is that intangible quality that makes someone magnetic, captivating, unforgettable. In their interview, this legendary dancer elaborated on what they see in Jimin that reminds them of Michael Jackson. And guys, every point they made is absolutely on point and made me realize even more how special Jimin is. First, they talked about stage presence. They said that when Jimin is on stage, he has the ability to command attention in a way that's very similar to how Michael Jackson did it. Not by being loud or over the top, but through this magnetic energy that makes you unable to look away. Michael Jackson was famous for the fact that the moment he stepped on stage, all eyes were on him, no matter who else was there, no matter what else was happening. MJ was the center, and this legendary dancer said they see the same quality in Jimin, that ability to instantly become the focal point, to draw people in, to create moments that people will remember forever. Second, they mentioned emotional connection. This is something Michael Jackson was a master at, the ability to convey such deep emotion through performance that the audience wasn't just watching, but feeling. They said Jimin has the same gift. When Jimin performs, you can see and feel every emotion, whether it's joy, pain, longing, power, vulnerability. It all comes through with clarity and intensity that's rare. This legendary dancer specifically mentioned how Jimin isn't just executing movements, but telling stories and creating emotional experiences for the audience. Third, and this really got me, they talked about artistry and how Jimin approaches performance as an art form, not just entertainment. Michael Jackson was an artist in the truest sense. Every detail of his performances was carefully considered and meant something, from costumes to choreography to facial expressions to the way he used the stage. Everything was intentional art. And apparently, this legendary dancer sees that same artistic sensibility in Jimin. They mention how you can tell that Jimin thinks deeply about his performances, that he considers every detail. that he's not just going through motions, but creating art every time he's on stage. Guys, when this statement came out, the entire world went crazy. And I literally mean the entire world. This wasn't just ARMY or K-pop fans. This was dancers, choreographers, music professionals, entertainment journalists, casual observers, everyone. Twitter exploded with hashtags trending in multiple countries simultaneously. Instagram filled with side-by-side comparison videos of Jimin and Michael Jackson. TikTok flooded with dancers doing analysis and reaction videos. YouTube trending full of compilation performances of both. ARMY, of course, are absolutely losing their minds with pride. Comment sections everywhere full of people sharing their favorite Jimin performances, talking about moments when they felt that MJ-like aura, and expressing how meaningful it is for Jimin to be acknowledged at this level by a legitimate professional. But what's really beautiful is the reaction from the wider dance community and music industry professionals. Choreographers with decades of experience weighing in and agreeing with the assessment. Vocal coaches, performance directors, entertainment critics, everyone talking about the validity of this comparison. Some professional dancers even made detailed analysis videos breaking down the similarities between Jimin and Michael Jackson's performance styles. They're pointing out specific technical elements, stage presence techniques, ways of engaging with the audience, artistic choices, and showing how there are indeed legitimate parallels. Now, let's dive deep into why this comparison isn't just hype or exaggeration, but actually based on legitimate observations. Because, guys, there are real, tangible similarities between how Jimin and Michael Jackson approach performance. First, let's talk about versatility. Michael Jackson was incredibly versatile. He could do sharp, powerful movements, but also incredibly smooth, fluid movements. He could be aggressive and masculine, but also delicate and graceful. He mastered multiple dance styles and could blend them seamlessly. Jimin has the same versatility. Watch his different performances, and you'll see incredible range. He can do powerful hip-hop choreography, emotional contemporary dance, sharp synchronization with BTS, sensual solo performances, and he excels at everything. That ability to seamlessly switch between styles and energy levels is rare, and is one of the hallmarks of truly great performers. Second, precision combined with fluidity. This is something Michael Jackson was famous for. His movements were incredibly precise and controlled, but also looked effortless and fluid. Nothing looked robotic or stiff, despite the insane technical difficulty. Jimin demonstrates this same quality. His movements are incredibly precise. Every angle, every extension, every transition is controlled and intentional. But at the same time, everything flows naturally. Nothing looks forced or mechanical. That combination of technical precision with natural flow is incredibly difficult to achieve. Third, attention to detail. Michael Jackson was obsessive about details. The angle of his hat, the timing of a hand gesture, the exact moment to make eye contact with the camera. Every tiny detail was considered and perfected. Jimin shows the same attention to detail. Watch any of his performances closely, and you'll notice fingers are never just hanging, they're positioned intentionally. Facial expressions change at exactly the right moments to match the music and lyrics. The way he uses props, interacts with other performers, positions himself on stage. Everything is thought through. Fourth, and this is a big one, musicality. Michael Jackson didn't just dance to music, he was the music. He understood music at a cellular level and could interpret every nuance through movement. Jimin has this same musicality. He doesn't just hit beats. He interprets melody, responds to instrumental changes, catches vocal ad-libs with his movements. He understands song structure and knows how to build energy, create climaxes, and provide resolution through his dancing. That deep musicality is something you can't really teach. You either feel it or you don't. Now, let's talk about the concept of aura, because this is something that's often mentioned, but rarely truly understood. Aura isn't about being loud or flashy. Aura is that magnetic quality that makes people unable to look away, that makes your presence felt even when you're standing still. Michael Jackson had a legendary aura. Stories from people who met him or saw him perform live are all the same. There was something about his presence that was almost otherworldly. He could walk into a room and everyone would immediately know. He could stand on stage and the audience would be transfixed. The legendary dancer who made this comparison said they see a similar aura in Jimin. And guys, this is backed up by countless testimonies from people who have seen Jimin perform live. ARMY who attend concerts consistently say that Jimin has this presence that is hard to describe but impossible to ignore. Industry professionals who've worked with BTS have also commented on this. There are stories about how when Jimin enters a practice room or performance venue, the energy changes. People notice him. There's this gravitas and magnetism that he carries. And what's interesting is, like Michael Jackson, Jimin achieves this not by trying to dominate or being arrogant, but through this genuine passion and artistry that radiates from him. It's authentic, and that authenticity is part of what makes it so powerful. Let's talk about impact, because this is another area where the parallels between Jimin and Michael Jackson are striking. Michael Jackson didn't just perform. He influenced entire generations of dancers and performers. His moves became iconic, his style became a reference point, his approach to performance set new standards. Jimin is having a similar impact in K-pop and beyond. Younger idols study his performances. Dancers around the world learn his choreography. His style influences fashion and performance trends. Training companies in Korea use his performances as teaching examples. Choreographers working in the K-pop industry have talked about how standards for idol performance have evolved partly because of what Jimin has shown is possible. The emphasis on emotional expression, artistic interpretation, individual artistry within group context. These have all become more valued partly because of Jimin's influence. And just like Michael Jackson brought artistry and excellence to pop music performance, Jimin is bringing a similar level of artistry to K-pop. He's showing that you can be a commercially successful idol while maintaining genuine artistic integrity. You can fill stadiums while still being an artist. Something else the legendary dancer mentioned that really struck me, they talked about how both Michael Jackson and Jimin have this combination of incredible talent with genuine humility. Michael Jackson, despite being literally the king of pop, was known for being respectful, curious, always wanting to learn and improve. People who've worked with Jimin say the exact same things. Despite his success and recognition, he remains humble, polite, hardworking. He treats staff with respect. He's kind to junior artists. He never stops practicing and trying to improve. There are stories about Jimin staying late in the practice room, asking for feedback, working on details that most people wouldn't even notice. That dedication to craft combined with humility is rare, especially when you've already achieved so much success. This character aspect is part of what makes both Michael Jackson and Jimin so beloved, not just as performers, but as people. Their talent is amazing, but their character makes them truly special. What's been fascinating to watch is how this comparison has resonated beyond just the K-pop world. Western music industry professionals, international dance communities, global entertainment media, everyone's paying attention. Some Western choreographers who've worked with major artists have weighed in, agreeing that Jimin represents that rare level of performance excellence that is comparable to legends. Some have even expressed interest in potentially working with him. Music critics from major publications have written pieces analyzing this comparison, and many are agreeing that it's not an exaggeration. They're pointing to Jimin's technical skill, artistic vision, stage presence, and overall impact as evidence that he deserves to be mentioned in the same breath as the greats. This is huge for K-pop because it's another example of how the genre and its artists are gaining legitimate recognition from the global music industry, not just as a trendy phenomenon, but as serious artists producing world-class work. Think about what this means for Jimin's legacy. Being compared to Michael Jackson by a legitimate industry professional is the kind of recognition that transcends fandoms, transcends genres, transcends eras. This is historical acknowledgement of his place among great performers. Years from now, when people look back at this era of music and performance, Jimin will be remembered not just as a successful K-pop idol, but as an artist who achieved excellence at a level that's compared with legends. That's incredible, and something to be so proud of. And guys, Jimin is still actively performing and creating. He's still growing as an artist. If he's already achieved this level of recognition now, imagine what else he will accomplish. The future is so exciting. For ARMY watching this, I know you're probably emotional right now, and that's totally valid. Seeing Jimin receive this kind of recognition from a respected professional is such beautiful validation of what we've known all along, that he's truly exceptional. But this is also a moment to remember what makes Jimin special beyond just his talent. His kindness, his dedication, his humility, his genuine love for his craft, and his fans. These qualities combined with his extraordinary talent are what makes him really comparable to someone like Michael Jackson, who was loved not just for his talent, but for his heart. For people newly discovering Jimin through this news, welcome! You're about to go on an incredible journey discovering his artistry. Watch his performances from early BTS days to his latest work. Each era shows growth. Each performance tells a story. You'll understand why this comparison to Michael Jackson makes perfect sense. One thing we should also address is that comparisons to legends like Michael Jackson, while honoring, also come with pressure and responsibility. MJ set incredibly high standards and faced enormous pressure throughout his career. What's important is to support Jimin in allowing him to be himself, to grow at his own pace, to make his own artistic choices. The comparison to MJ is recognition of his current excellence, not pressure to become someone else or fit a certain mold. Jimin has his own unique voice, his own artistic vision, his own story to tell. That individuality is part of what makes him special. So while we celebrate this comparison, let's also celebrate Jimin for being authentically himself, stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. This moment is a beautiful reminder about the power of artistry and dedication to craft. Both Michael Jackson and Jimin achieved their excellence through incredible hard work, unwavering dedication, and genuine passion for their art. It shows that true excellence transcends boundaries of genre, nationality, generation. Great artistry is great artistry, regardless of where it comes from or what form it takes. It also shows the importance of having teachers, mentors, and industry professionals who can recognize and nurture talent. The legendary dancer who made this comparison is helping to elevate the discourse around performance art and giving credit where credit is due. Looking to the future, this recognition opens doors for even more opportunities for Jimin. Potential collaborations with international artists and choreographers, invitations to prestigious performance events, recognition at awards and institutions beyond just the music industry. It also sets a precedent for other K-pop artists and Asian performers generally. When respected professionals publicly acknowledge excellence from Korean artists in terms that compare them to Western legends, it helps break down barriers and stereotypes. This is part of a larger movement of K-pop and Korean culture gaining legitimate respect globally, not just as an exotic trend, but as a genuine artistic force producing world-class work. Guys, I'm literally still processing how big this is. A legendary dancer comparing Jimin to Michael Jackson. The Michael Jackson is a moment that will go down in K-pop history. This is recognition that validates everything ARMY have been saying about Jimin's exceptional talent. But beyond accolades and recognition, what this really represents is the triumph of artistry, dedication, and staying true to your craft. Jimin worked incredibly hard to reach this level. Every hour in the practice room, every performance where he gave his all, every time he pushed himself to be better. It all led to this moment of recognition from someone who truly understands greatness. So let's celebrate. Celebrate Jimin's incredible talent. Celebrate his artistry. Celebrate his dedication. Celebrate the fact that we get to witness and support an artist at this level. And celebrate the fact that excellence, wherever it comes from, is being recognized and honored. Thank you so much for watching. If you're as emotional as I am about this news, please smash that like button. Share this video with everyone because this deserves to be celebrated widely. Comment below with your favorite Jimin performance or your thoughts on this comparison. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content celebrating our amazing artists. Follow us on social media for daily updates. And remember, keep supporting, keep loving, and keep appreciating true artistry when you see it. Until next time, stay amazing and keep streaming. Borahi.